that you adapt like to make your fans happy. And for the actors, what would you say that it was the best thing to be part of this film?
For the first part, what was the first part? I remember your guys' thing. I forgot
The process that you were involved,
Oh, yeah.
the changes or everything to make your fans happy.
Yeah, so I mean, the whole project was basically for me to make the fans happy. It wasn't about necessarily having a new fan base or anything, which is luckily has come along as well, but it was really just to bring this story that all of these people supported for so many years to life. So I had a responsibility to keep it as close as I could, but the realistic thing is every adaptation, you're never gonna get everything from a book. It's just not possible, especially because my books are incredibly long. So there were things that I was happy to change and couldn't wait to change, but there were some things that were harder to let go than others. But overall, I was so involved creatively that I felt like, in the end, I mostly got everything that I know the fans would want.
Thank you. And guys, please.
You go.
It was just an overall great experience. We got really close with all of the cast, and I feel like I learned a lot because, it was a big role and probably my biggest to this point. And I don't know what the best thing is. It was great.
Yeah, I just think to have, as a first lead role, such a complex character, such a good storyline, such a big fan base, and simply just luckily such a good cast and crew when we actually got to filming, it's kind of like the perfect setup for a first lead role, to be honest. So thank you, Anna.
La tercera pregunta es para Erika Gallardo de Popcorn Show.
Hola chicos, bienvenidos a México. Mi primera pregunta es para Ana. Quisiera preguntarle ¿por qué cree que son tan atractivas estas películas erótico-adolescentes entre la gente y por qué tienen tanto éxito? Y a los chicos, ¿qué tan difícil es hacer este tipo de escenas subidas de tono? Si es emocionante, no es emocionante, ¿qué tal?
For me personally, I feel like, especially with YA or new adult stories, there's not a lot of, and I love almost every book I've ever read, to be honest, but every time I read a YA novel, I felt like it was somewhat relatable, but it was always this girl who had everything figured out. She had an amazing family, or maybe there was a big struggle, but in the end she saves the world. And there's a lot of girls who, myself included, aren't ready to save the world yet, and you make mistakes along the way. So I feel like they can relate to it in a way that they can finally read a book with a lot of flaws, which ironically enough is the thing that gets criticized the most, but it's the thing I'm the most proud of. So I feel like it's just a relatable story that people haven't read. There's millions of erotic novels, but sometimes there's not a lot of plot along. So I feel like with mine, it has kind of the best of both worlds. That's really egotistical to say, but people have said that so much that I believe them. So I feel like it's relatable and tells a real story instead of meet, have a lot of intimate time, one fight, then you're married, and that's it.
Thanks.
As for filming those scenes, I feel like the anticipation before you film them is always worse than the actual thing. You kind of just have to, I guess you just do it. It's a job. Everyone in there is like, waiting to go home, and you've got like a bald grip holding a light, scratching his head, and you do one shot of like a small unzipping something, and it's 3 seconds long, and it's like cut, reset, and you're just standing there for 10 minutes. So it's not as glamorous or even awkward as you might assume. So no, it was fine in the end.
And we were really lucky that we had like a 1 week rehearsal time where we got to choreograph those things. So really blocked out hand by hand, step by step. So it was, on the day, it was fine.
Thank you.
La cuarta pregunta la tiene Mijael González de Wiki TV.
Hi guys, my question is for Hero and Josephine. What would be the things that you got in common and that doesn't have in common with Tessa and Harding?
I feel like I have a lot of little things in common and not in common. I wouldn't say we share the same sense of style or probably passion for reading, but we're both really driven and we both pay attention to detail and we overthink a little bit.
I definitely need to think of a better answer to this question, because every time I get asked it, I don't really know what to say. There's definitely similarities and differences. I feel like the similarities, they kind of just come naturally and you focus more on the differences, because similarities are going to be there regardless, but the differences is what you have to kind of, is where the acting comes in. I tend to say thinking. We both think a lot. I'd like to think that I have a bit more self-control, perhaps. But yeah, there's pros and cons. I say that differences. He has a lot of tattoos. I don't have any.
You're both British.
Yeah, there is that. We both look really similar.
Yeah, me
somehow.
too.
Weird.
Yeah.
Siguiente pregunta para Liz Hill de Cine Información y Más.
Bienvenidos a México, welcome to Mexico. Ana, me gustaría saber qué fue lo que viste en Hero y en Josephine para elegirlos a realizar estos personajes. Y a Hero y a Josephine, si me pueden comentar algún error en la filmación, algún blooper durante la filmación.
We definitely have a ton of bloopers, to answer the second part first. Like probably too much, like some of them we should never show anyone.
There's a lot of things that are just lying on someone's hard drive somewhere.
Yes, and they're gonna end up on the internet, I'm
Yeah.
sure. I'm sure. For the casting, it was a weird kind of process because we had already had fan casting and it had been years kind of in the making, and it went from having an idea of a certain person to another person. And then Hero, which he knows this, and I've said it before, is it wasn't necessarily like the moment I saw his face, I was like, oh, he's talented on a tape. But the thing with these tapes they're like, it's so unfair for actors. When I watch these tapes, I'm like, this is what you guess off of? But it was when he came in the room, and before that, we were kind of, everybody was in different places with who we thought was gonna have the role. And then he walked in, and like 30 seconds later, I looked at the director and I was like, well, there we go. We might as well just cancel everything else. And then it got to the point where I literally was like, I will not attend any other castings if you don't hire him. So then, it wasn't like I had to make them. Everybody loved him, but it was like, that's it. I will not accept anyone else. So here we are. And Josephine was a little different way. She auditioned for another role and her face came on a Skype screen and I was like, that's Tessa. What are we gonna do? So then a couple weeks later, she flew in and she got the role. It was just immediate. It was not even that she looks pretty much identical to the character.
It's saying that, which I find so strange.
You just do. You look like, I don't know, it's like not even your like actual anatomy of your face. It's just something about you that I was like, and she's such a hard worker too. So it wasn't just physically, it was like, she is so organized and driven, and it was really easy, to be honest. It was hard until we met them, but once we met them, it was so easy.
Siguiente pregunta para Arturo Tobar de Movix.
Hi guys, how are you? Welcome to Mexico.
Thank you.